Okay, let's dive right into this. You know that savings account you have? The one where you stash your money thinking it's just sitting there, safe and sound, maybe earning a teeny tiny bit of interest? Well, what if I told you that money is actually on a wild journey you know absolutely nothing about? A journey that connects your savings directly to the finances of the entire country.
That is the big question, isn't it? Because while you're at work or watching a movie or just living your life, that money you've so carefully saved up is doing something pretty massive. It is definitely not just waiting for you to come back.
And look, this is the common view. It's totally understandable. We picture our money in some kind of digital vault, completely untouched. And yeah, that's a comforting thought, but it's just not the full story. The reality is so much more dynamic and, frankly, a whole lot more interesting. That's right. Your money isn't sleeping on the job. Now, don't worry, it's secure, but it is far from inactive. We're about to follow the money on its pretty surprising secret journey, one that starts right in your bank account but ends up somewhere you would probably never guess. So, to really get what's happening, we have to pull the camera back. I mean, way, way out. We need to shift our whole perspective from our personal bank account to the finances of an entire nation and look at one of the biggest, most mind-boggling numbers in the world. Let's talk about the U.S. national debt. It's a number so huge it almost feels fake, like something from a movie. But it is a very, very real IOU that has to be managed and financed every single day. Just look at this number for a second. That is $38 trillion. It's a figure that's so vast, it's kind of hard for our brains to even process it. And it is ticking upwards every single second of every day. And that's the key. This isn't some static figure. It's a projection. Think about the national debt clock you might have seen pictures of. It's a constant, real-time reminder of this colossal, always growing financial obligation. And all that growth means one thing. There is a constant, relentless need for more cash to fund it. Which brings us to the crucial question, where in the world does the money come from to cover a debt of this magnitude? The answer, believe it or not, is what connects this gigantic national number right back down to your personal savings account. Okay, let's connect the dots. This is where we bridge that huge gap between trillions in government debt and the dollars and cents in your bank account. And it all boils down to one key financial tool. I want you to meet the U.S. Treasury bonds. Put really simply, this is how the government borrows money. People and institutions buy these bonds, and when they do, they're basically lending cash to the government. In return, the government promises to pay them back, with interest. It's famous for being one of the safest investments on the entire planet. And right here, this is the secret journey, laid out step by step. It starts with you. You deposit money, but your bank, it doesn't just let that cash sit around. That's not how they make money. They put it to work, and they need a super safe, reliable place to invest it. So, what's one of the safest bets out there? You guessed it, U.S. Treasury bonds. So the bank takes a chunk of our collective deposits and buys government debt. And boom. Just like that, your savings are helping to finance the nation. This is the key mechanism right here. This isn't some obscure practice. It is a fundamental part of how our entire banking system works. Our deposits, yours, mine, everyone's, create this massive pool of money. And a primary destination for that money is government debt. So let's bring this all the way back around and talk about what this means for you, the saver. Because it turns out you've been playing a pretty important role in this massive system, probably without even realizing it. What's the takeaway here? How should this little tidbit of information change the way you think about the money you have tucked away? Well, it kind of requires a fundamental shift in how we see our own cash. So the most important thing to get is this. Your savings are not passive. They're active. In a way, you are an indirect lender to the U.S. government. Your simple bank account is actually a vital link in this huge chain, funneling money from regular households like yours directly into financing the country. It creates this deep relationship where our savings help the government borrow, but it also means our entire banking system's health is tied to the government's financial stability. Pretty wild, right? So, you can forget that image of a dusty old vault. A much better way to think about it is an engine. Your savings are basically fuel for a massive economic engine that powers both the banking system and government operations. Your participant may be an unwitting one, but an absolutely essential one in this whole process. So the next time you log in to check your savings balance, what are you going to see? A simple piggy bank with some numbers in it?
Or are you going to see it for what it truly is, a small but vital gear in a vast, invisible economic engine? Definitely something to think about.